If only everything were as simple as this. With the press of a button, Chancellor Angela Merkel sets the propellers of a new offshore wind park in motion.
It is indeed the case that the events in Fukushima forced us to reconsider the risks we are willing to take in order to generate power, which is why we are going to implement our energy policy as fast as possible.
But not everyone in the CDU is overly enthusiastic about renewables. Many question whether the transition will take place without problems.
We will do it, but on 3 conditions. Firstly, it has to happen without damage to the environment. Secondly, it has to be reliable. We want electricity at all times. We don't want to see blackouts in an industrialized country. And thirdly, it has to be cost-effective.
Members of the FDP coalition party also have their reservations about a swift withdrawal from nuclear power.
If you say you want to get out faster and want to take a different path, you have to accept and support other compromises. We can't do it without cables or without storage technology. What that means, I can tell you quite honestly from the outset, is that it won't be any cheaper.
But political scientist and energy expert Lutz Metz says criticism like that will fall on deaf ears because there's no place for nuclear power in a successful election campaign.
Nuclear power is one of the few issues which mobilizes the entire country, especially since Chernobyl, and that was 25 years ago. We're now looking at a renaissance of the anti-nuclear movement, and political parties have to react.
Although a majority of Germans favor a withdrawal from nuclear power and want it to happen as soon as possible, they disagree on who should bear the consequences. Using power generated at offshore wind parks to feed the rest of Germany requires the large-scale extension of the power grid. But nobody wants the pylons on their doorstep. At a recent meeting with state-level ministers, the then economics minister, Rainer Brüderle, pushed for progress with the new networks. But at the close of the talks, he said the resistance of some states was unbreakable.
Quite honestly, if we want the power lines, and we need them to generate decentralized renewable energy, we have to make compromises in terms of how they will affect landscapes. Otherwise, it won't work.
It's an initial discussion. Nobody can expect that the government puts its vision on the table and we say, okay, we agree, that's taken care of. I think it needs more than a discussion.
The Green Party, which has long fought from the anti-nuclear corner, is doubtful that Merkel's coalition will pull out of nuclear power.
I worry that those in the CDU, CSU, and FDP who are putting on the brakes are gaining strength. The fact that the date of the final vote keeps getting pushed back and is now going to be on the Bundesrat agenda for 8th of July is proof that resistance is forming.
It seems that Chancellor Merkel won't withdraw from nuclear power as fast as many Germans might like, because the decisive issues of how and when remain fuel for ongoing behind-the-scene arguments.